In this manner, through good wit of geometry, began first the craft of masonry. The clerk Euclid on this wise it found, this craft of geometry in Egypt land. In Egypt he taught it full wide, in divers lands on every side. Many years afterwards, I understand, ere that the craft came into this land. This craft came into England, as you say, in time of good King Athelstane's day. He made then both hall and even bower, and high temples of great honor, to disport him in both day and night, and to worship his God with all his might. This excerpt, delicately borrowed from the Regius manuscript, reveals the ancient and elusive history of the Masonic craft. In the Masonic tradition, the tangible and intangible facets elegantly converge, orchestrating a symphony of perfect accord that defies the limitations of the mundane. In essentials, unity; in non-essentials, liberty; in all things, charity. We meet upon the level and we part upon the square. Welcome to Agrippa's Diary, the gathering place for mystical seekers. In the depths of history's shadowy past, under layers of secrecy and enigmatic symbols, lies an ancient and mysterious brotherhood, the ancient and mystical order of the Freemasons. Its origins are obscured, its rituals filled with symbols, and its purpose steeped in allegory. Freemasonry calls to the curious with promises of hidden wisdom, ancient traditions, and an expedition into the unknown with one single purpose: to climb Jacob's ladder and reach for the fruits and wisdom of higher consciousness. A cryptic quilt of symbols and allegory swathes Masonic rituals, silently handed down from master to pupil through secret rites. Freemasonry's journey through history has borne witness to the ascendance and fall of empires, the birthing cries of nations, and the ever-shifting tides of human societies. As a silent sentinel to the ebb and flow of human destiny, it challenges the curious to embark on an enigmatic voyage and reach for the lost word and history of mankind. To fully fathom the elusive origins of Freemasonry, our voyage pushes us to traverse deeper into the labyrinth of time. In this quest, we uncover the hallowed bonds that bind this ancient fraternity to the age-old craft of medieval stonemasonry. These masterful artisans held within their guilds closely guarded treasures, an inheritance of architectural and construction secrets, eternally entrusted to each successive generation. However, the significance of their craft transcended mere technical skill. It bore the weight of an unyielding dedication to honor, integrity, and the relentless pursuit of absolute perfection. As the ever-evolving tapestry of history unfolded, the influence of these stonemason guilds transcended the mere act of erecting structures. Their purpose underwent a profound metamorphosis as they welcomed individuals not inherently linked to the stonemason's trade. In the crucible of time, these guilds evolved into fraternal organizations that placed paramount importance on moral and ethical development. It is within this extraordinary evolution that the intriguing connection to Freemasonry begins to crystallize. Certain stonemason guilds flung open their doors to those unaffiliated with the trade, hence birthing the monikers Accepted Masons or Freemasons. This momentous shift from operative stonemasonry to speculative Freemasonry represented a seismic transition. It marked a departure from the physical act of building edifices to the sublime endeavor of crafting moral character and the relentless pursuit of wisdom and enlightenment. As the centuries passed, the legends and rituals of those venerable medieval stonemason guilds intertwined themselves seamlessly into the very essence of Freemasonry. It is through this intricate fusion that Freemasonry was born, woven with threads of tradition, adorned with symbols of wisdom, and imbued with an unwavering commitment to the boundless growth of the human spirit. The schism between operative and speculative masonry was not a rupture, but a seamless metamorphosis, where the ancient craft of stone gave birth to the mystical journey of the human spirit. But what do we truly understand about Masonry's history before speculative Freemasonry emerged? Much of this history resides within ancient Masonic manuscripts and the order's legendary lore. It is important to note that the following account includes legendary elements and is not a factual historical record. Studying Freemasonry calls for scholars and enthusiasts to explore ambiguity with a keen intellect and through the lens of allegory. The legendary roots of Freemasonry delve deep into ancient history, even before the foundations of King Solomon's temple were laid. In the hushed whispers of Masonic tradition, we are transported to a time when Lamech, a scion of Cain's lineage, bestowed upon the world his knowledge through his two distinguished sons, Jabal and Jubal. Jabal, the elder son, is credited with the profound invention of geometry, a science that would later unlock the secrets of the universe's intricacies. His geometrical prowess illuminated the path toward understanding the fundamental order that governs the cosmos, offering a glimpse into the very fabric of reality. Jubal, the younger brother, was a maestro of music and a virtuoso in the realm of architecture. His melodies resonated with the divine harmonies of the universe, while his architectural acumen crafted spaces that transcended the mundane, elevating the spirits of those who entered. These sacred arts and boundless knowledge flowed through the ages, a testament to the enduring legacy of the Lamechian bloodline. Each generation dutifully preserved and passed down this treasure trove of wisdom, ensuring that its luminescence continued to shine through the corridors of time. The legend takes us further on this mystical journey with the construction of two towering pillars, Jachin and Boaz. These monumental structures were not mere architectural wonders, but repositories of profound wisdom and sacred insights. It is said that within their hallowed confines lay the secrets of geometry and architecture, concealed like precious gems awaiting discovery. Jachin, the pillar of establishment, stood as a steadfast sentinel, representing the establishment of order and structure in the universe. Boaz, its counterpart, symbolized strength and endurance, serving as a testament to the resilience of knowledge through the ages. In the mystical traditions of Freemasonry, these twin pillars continue to stand as potent symbols, guardians of timeless wisdom and enlightenment. Upon entering a Masonic temple, one cannot help but observe the towering presence of the two pillars flanking each side of the gate. Their enduring presence within Masonic lodges today is a reminder of the profound heritage and sacred knowledge that courses through the veins of Freemasonry, connecting it to the distant echoes of ancient wisdom. Continuing in chronological order, our gaze is directed toward the foundational legend of the Freemasons. The saga of Hiram Abiff, a mythical master builder whose enduring legacy is intricately woven into the fraternity's teachings. This captivating narrative serves as the cornerstone of Masonic lore, a story that has been told and retold through generations, contributing to the rich lore of the Brotherhood's heritage. According to Masonic tradition, Hiram Abiff emerged as the preeminent architect entrusted with the monumental task of erecting King Solomon's temple, a construction of unparalleled magnificence and profound spiritual importance, interwoven within the pages of biblical history. As the temple neared completion, a pivotal moment in Hiram's life and the legend unfolded. It was then, at the zenith of his architectural mastery, that he was deemed worthy of receiving the most profound and arcane knowledge of the craft, knowledge that he vowed to safeguard at any cost, a solemn duty etched into his very soul. Yet a shadowy trio of fellow craftsmen, driven by an insatiable hunger for this esoteric wisdom, conspired to wrest it from Hiram. Determined to uphold his sacred oath, Hiram Abiff stood unwavering, resolute in his resolve to protect the sacred knowledge entrusted to him. The unfolding drama culminated in a tragic confrontation, a confrontation that forced Hiram's steadfast refusal and led to a violence-fraught climax, ultimately resulting in his untimely demise. The saga of Hiram Abiff, master builder and guardian of ancient wisdom, serves as a profoundly resonant allegory within Freemasonry. It symbolizes a timeless and universal truth, the paramount importance of preserving sacred knowledge and moral principles even when faced with the darkest of adversities. It also represents the patience and loyalty expected of a Freemason, cautioning against straying from the path like the three craftsmen seeking a shortcut in their journey. Every Mason must bide his time, for knowledge is attained only when the moment is ripe and the student ready. Freemasonry is organized into a hierarchical structure, and members progress through different levels, often referred to as degrees. The three primary degrees in traditional Freemasonry are Entered Apprentice, Fellow Craft, and Master Mason. The transition from Fellow Craft to Master Mason in Freemasonry involves a significant ritual known as the Master Mason degree. Central to the ritual is the symbolic death and rebirth, using the narrative of Hiram Abiff as a focal point to underscore the values and virtues expected of a master. The legends of Hiram Abiff and the Temple are foundational narratives within Freemasonry, but should be understood primarily as symbolic and allegorical, rather than historical events. Chronologically through the lore, we transition to the shadow of the Tower of Babel, where Nimrod, the visionary builder of ancient times, yearns for wisdom beyond measure. Nimrod's ambitions extended beyond the physical realm of construction. He yearned for wisdom that transcended earthly knowledge. Guided by the enigmatic whispers of hidden Masons, who were the custodians of arcane wisdom, Nimrod embarked on a quest that would define the course of his life and leave an indelible mark on the history of the craft. Within the cryptic halls of Masonic lodges, Nimrod delved into the intricate and mystical world of geometry, uncovering its profound significance and the hidden truths it held. As he absorbed this sacred knowledge, he became not just a builder of physical structures, but also a bearer of ancient wisdom, the custodian of the very secrets he had sought. Nimrod's legacy, forged through his relentless pursuit of enlightenment, would reverberate through the ages, resonating with those who followed in his footsteps. The craft of Freemasonry, with its dedication to the pursuit of knowledge and the quest for spiritual illumination, found a timeless connection with Nimrod's enduring spirit. As centuries flowed like a river through time, our journey transports us to the ancient and illustrious world of Greece, a realm of enlightenment and philosophy. It is here that we encounter Euclid, a figure of immense renown, revered as a mathematician without equal. Euclid's intellectual hunger knew no bounds. He sought nothing less than the universal truths that underpin the fabric of reality. In this era, the knowledge of the ages was dispersed among the Masons, a group recognized as the custodians of mystical geometry, the keepers of the keys to understanding the very architecture of the cosmos. Euclid, driven by his insatiable thirst for wisdom, embarked on a pilgrimage to uncover the hidden mysteries that the Masons safeguarded. Exploring deeper into the intricate and enigmatic tale of the universe's geometric secrets, he unraveled the profound significance of sacred proportions. As Euclid absorbed the ancient teachings, he evolved from a mathematician of renown into a sage of profound insight. He became a conduit between the realms of Masonic wisdom and the broader world, bestowing upon Freemasonry the unparalleled gift of profound understanding, the timeless wisdom of sacred proportions. Fast forward to the medieval era, we encounter a figure of legendary valor, Charles Martel, renowned as the Hammer of the Moors. Charles Martel's unquenchable thirst for knowledge was a beacon that led him into the heart of ancient wisdom. Driven by the same insatiable curiosity that knew no bounds, Charles Martel followed in the footsteps of his predecessors. It was a clandestine meeting with an enigmatic scholar named Namus Grecus that would irrevocably change the course of his life. Namus Grecus was no ordinary scholar. He was a guardian of ancient wisdom, a repository of knowledge that extended beyond the mortal realm. In this secret rendezvous, Namus Grecus initiated Charles Martel into the veiled world of Freemasonry. The bond forged between them transcended the boundaries of time, connecting Charles Martel with the lineage of those who had safeguarded Masonic secrets for generations. Charles Martel, now a legendary protector of Masonic secrets, became a sentinel of ancient wisdom. His role was not merely that of a warrior on the battlefield, but also that of a guardian of the esoteric knowledge passed down through the ages. In shaping the destiny of the craft, he ensured that the Masonic legacy would persist, enduring as an eternal beacon of enlightenment. Together, Charles Martel and Namus Grecus contributed to the global spread of Freemasonry by fostering a network of Masonic lodges and initiates in regions far and wide. Their collaboration, born in a shared quest for knowledge and enlightenment, ignited the flames of Masonic wisdom in places beyond their immediate realms. In the mist-shrouded annals of ancient Britain, where history and legend intertwine, there emerges the tale of St. Alban, revered as the first Christian martyr of the land. His story, deeply etched into the fabric of Masonic lore, begins in the Roman town of Verulamium, now known as St. Albans. Alban, a nobleman of Roman descent, lived a life untouched by the burgeoning Christian faith that was sweeping across the empire. That was until fate, in the guise of a persecuted Christian priest, knocked at his door. Seeking refuge, the priest found sanctuary within Alban's walls. Night after night they talked, and the flickering candlelight bore witness to Alban's growing conviction in the priest's faith. In a selfless act that would seal his fate, Alban donned the priest's cloak, allowing the holy man to slip away into the darkness, while he himself faced the wrath of the Roman soldiers. Arrested and brought before the authorities, Alban steadfastly refused to renounce his newfound faith. His sentence was swift and brutal: execution. On a hill outside Verulamium, Alban met his martyr's fate, his blood sanctifying the ground and sowing the seeds of veneration that would grow through the ages. St. Alban's Cathedral now stands as a monument to his sacrifice, a testament to faith and conversion. But the story of St. Alban weaves its way not just through the annals of Christian martyrdom, but also into the rich lore of Masonic tradition. In this age-old fraternity's lore, St. Alban is more than a martyr. He is a beacon of light for Masons. He is credited, though more in allegorical sense than historical record, with bringing the craft of Freemasonry to Britain and securing a charter from the Romans for his fellow Masons, granting them freedoms and privileges unseen. Yet as the glow of St. Alban's story fades into the shadows of history, a long interlude stretches across the British Isles. This epoch, known as the Dark Ages, was a time of turmoil and transformation, where the remnants of Roman Britain were slowly dispersed into the emerging Anglo-Saxon kingdoms. The Masonic narrative, rich in symbolism and allegory, leaps across this chasm of time to the era of King Athelstan, the first king of a united England. It was under Athelstan's reign, so the Masons tell, that the craft of Masonry received royal attention once more. The York legend, a cornerstone of Masonic tradition, speaks of Athelstan granting a charter to the Masonic Guild in York, a move that would formalize and enshrine the practices of the stonemasons. But nestled within this legend is the figure of Prince Edwin, Athelstan's brother, a patron of the Masons. It is said that he gathered the craftsmen, passing down regulations and guidelines that would shape the moral and ethical foundations of Masonry. From the sacrifice of St. Alban to the royal patronage of Athelstan and Edwin, these tales, woven together, form a compelling lore. While the historical veracity of these narratives may be shrouded in mystery, their symbolic significance burns bright in the hearts of Freemasons. They embody virtues of fidelity, integrity, and sacrifice, principles that have stood as the bedrock of the Masonic craft through the ages. All these legends, spanning from the era of Lamech's sons and the Pillars of Knowledge to the tales of Hiram Abiff, Nimrod, Euclid, Charles Martel, Saint Alban, and King Athelstan, are not to be considered and integrated as historical facts. They symbolize the timeless and universal truths that Freemasons hold dear. Now, let us transition from the realm of legend into the tangible and historical foundations of Freemasonry through the exploration of the Freemasonry manuscripts, which offer valuable insights into the craft's evolution and teachings. These manuscripts provide a bridge between the legendary origins and the documented history of Freemasonry, shedding light on its development and philosophies. It is within these manuscripts that we uncover the factual foundations of this ancient and enigmatic fraternity. This is a page from the Regius manuscript, also known as the Halliwell manuscript, which stands as a true treasure, holding a profound historical significance that offers a rare glimpse into the origins and early practices of the fraternity. Dating to the late 14th to early 15th century, this ancient manuscript endures 6 centuries, concealed within the British Museum's Royal Library until unearthed in the 19th century. The true marvel of the Regius manuscript lies in its suspected lineage, possibly tracing back to the 14th century, rendering it among the oldest Masonic texts known to exist. This venerable manuscript isn't just a historical curiosity, it's a vital connection to Freemasonry's early evolution. Within its pages lie invaluable glimpses of the fraternity's beginnings, ancient rituals, and timeless moral teachings, which have remained at the heart of Freemasonry through the ages. One of the most significant sections of the manuscript is what is often referred to as the Constitution of the Masons. This portion outlines the rules and regulations that early Masons were expected to follow, shedding light on the organizational structure and conduct within Masonic lodges. It serves as a historical blueprint for the governance and operation of these lodges, highlighting the importance of discipline and order within the fraternity. The Regius manuscript doesn't merely focus on rules and regulations, it weaves fascinating historical narratives throughout its pages. Geometry is a recurring theme in the Regius manuscript, emphasizing its significance in Masonic teachings. It delves into the use of geometry in the construction of cathedrals and relates it symbolically to moral principles and order. Geometry, in this context, serves as a metaphor for the precision, balance, and harmony that Masons strive to bring into their lives and the world around them. As is common in many Masonic texts, the Regius manuscript acknowledges a belief in a higher power, the divine architect of the universe. It underscores the importance of piety and devotion to the divine in a Mason's life, reinforcing the spiritual dimension of Freemasonry. This spiritual aspect, forged in faith and reverence, has been a core element of the fraternity since its inception. The Cook manuscript, often referred to as the Masons' Constitutions, is another fascinating artifact that offers a window into the world of early Freemasonry. This manuscript is one of the Old Charges manuscripts, a collection of texts that served as foundational documents for Freemasonry in its formative years. Written in Middle English, it provides a wealth of information about the craft of Masonry in the 15th century. At the outset, the Cook manuscript begins with a legendary history of Masonry, a common feature of Masonic texts of its time. This legendary history traces the origins of Masonry back to biblical times and specifically connects it to the construction of King Solomon's Temple. In this narrative, King Solomon's Temple is not just an architectural marvel, but also a profound symbol of divine wisdom, unity, and the highest moral values. The builders of this sacred edifice are portrayed as the earliest operative Masons, highlighting the craftsman aspect of early Freemasonry. This legendary history served a dual purpose during the manuscript's era. First and foremost, It firmly linked Freemasonry to a prestigious biblical lineage, enhancing the fraternity's prestige and legitimacy. Second, it conveyed a deeper allegorical message by using the construction of Solomon's temple as a metaphor. It symbolized the moral and spiritual building that Masons were expected to undertake in their own lives. Thus, the manuscript conveyed not only a historical account, but also a moral and philosophical framework for Masonic conduct. Throughout the Cook manuscript, this legendary history is intricately interwoven with lessons on ethics and virtue. It consistently emphasizes the importance of living a life guided by principles of integrity, faith, and brotherly love. As our journey through the world of Freemasonry manuscripts continues, we arrive at a truly intriguing document, the Dowland manuscript. The Dowland manuscript, first published in the Gentleman's Magazine in 1815, was contributed by James Dowland. He described it as an intriguing Freemasonry document from the 17th century, copied onto parchment from an even older manuscript, believed to date back to around 1550. This positions the Dowland manuscript as the second oldest known prose constitution in this realm. Its contents, particularly regarding Mason wages, align with other documents from the late 16th century. Regrettably, the original manuscript is now lost. This manuscript shares historical parallels with the Cook manuscript, notably in its narrative of Freemasonry's origins. According to the text, Freemasonry's initial principles emerged from Euclid's teachings to Egyptian nobility's sons. It narrates the story of a master mason, Avnon, son of King Hiram of Tyre, during the construction of Solomon's temple. The narrative traces the spread of Masonry from the temple to St. Albans, England via France, detailing the decline of the craft following St. Albans' death and its revival under King Athelstan. Athelstan's son, Edwin, recognized as an adept geometrician, is credited with securing a royal charter for an annual assembly of Masons, a tradition meant to continue through successive monarchies. This assembly, under Edwin's guidance, is identified for the first time as having taken place in York, shifting from earlier articles and points to a series of oath-bound charges. The manuscript's emphasis on York and the evolution of Masonic charges after 100 years of documentary silence has been linked by historian Prescott to 16th century governmental policies. These policies permitted wage increases for Masons in London, while enforcing strict wage controls in northern England. Before transitioning to the York manuscripts, you might have noticed an interesting detail. In the beginning, when we discussed the legend of King Athelstan, you might have noticed that we also mentioned Edwin as a key figure in the story, but he was mentioned as his brother, while here we mentioned him as his son. There is a reason why this is the case. Edwin in these stories is the same character, but there is an important aspect to consider that might have caused confusion. According to mainstream history, Athelstan had no heirs. There is no accepted historical proof to support that. Instead, Edwin is indeed mentioned as his brother, and the circumstances of his death are obscure. On the other hand, in the Masonic lore, Edwin is Athelstan's son, and the lineage of the Masonic craft is passed through him at the York gathering. The manuscripts mention a king of England who had a son who loved the Masons and was an initiate of their arts, but it does not mention any names. This has left room for speculation and debate, but the key takeaway is the following. Edwin, in the Masonic lore, is accepted as Athelstan's son and the one who gathered the Masons in York. Now, let's turn our attention to a group of manuscripts that hold a special place within the world of Freemasonry, the York manuscripts. They're essential for those who choose the path of the enigmatic York Rite, a counterpart to the Scottish Rite. This rite, celebrated for its intricate degrees, delves deeper into the craft, revealing moral and allegorical treasures. Unveiling their secrets unveils the mystic essence of the York Rite. At the heart of these manuscripts lie the rituals and ceremonies that define the Rite's degrees, including the Mark Master Mason, Royal Arch, and Knights Templar. These degrees are pivotal, representing an essential progression in a Mason's journey toward enlightenment. Within the York manuscripts, these rituals are meticulously detailed, outlining the symbolic journey that Masons undertake as they advance through the degrees. This journey is replete with allegorical elements that convey profound moral lessons, encouraging Masons to reflect upon their actions and character. Hidden within the mystical folds of the York manuscripts lies a cryptic cipher, known only to a select few. It is said that this cipher, when decoded, reveals an ancient invocation, said to possess the power to unlock hidden chambers of enlightenment within the minds of those who delve into the depths of York Rite mysteries. There are other important manuscripts, including the Lansdowne manuscript, the Harleian manuscript, the Sloane manuscript, the Aitchison Haven manuscript, the Edinburgh Kilwinning manuscript, and the Papworth manuscript. Collectively, they provide a multifaceted perspective on the craft, enriching our understanding of its wisdom and heritage. But to truly grasp the tenets of Freemasonry on a more profound level, it is necessary to approach the modern era and move away from the epochs dominated by stonemasonry. The transition from operative to speculative masonry in the early 18th century was a remarkable evolution that reshaped the trajectory of the Masonic tradition. This transition was driven by a growing recognition that the Masonic lodges could offer more than just the practical skills of building. They could also serve as a forum for moral and intellectual exploration. The inclusion of non-operative members was a pivotal moment in Masonic history, as it marked the birth of speculative masonry. In 1717, this transformation culminated in the establishment of the Grand Lodge of London, often referred to as the Premier Grand Lodge. This institution played a pivotal role in formalizing and legitimizing the emerging speculative craft. It provided a structured framework for lodges in London and its surrounding areas to come together under a unified umbrella. The significance of the Grand Lodge of London extended far beyond its geographic boundaries. It served as a blueprint for the creation of subsequent Grand Lodges around the world. These Grand Lodges adopted a similar organizational structure and rituals, ensuring a degree of standardization and consistency within Freemasonry. One of the most remarkable achievements of the Grand Lodge was the establishment of a standardized system of ritual and symbolism. This system played a crucial role in preserving the integrity and continuity of Freemasonry. It ensured that Masonic teachings, allegories, and symbols were consistent across lodges, regardless of their location. This standardization was instrumental in enabling Freemasonry to transcend geographic and cultural boundaries. It allowed Freemasons from different regions and backgrounds to come together, recognizing the shared symbols and principles that bound them as brothers. As the number of Freemasons increased, the need for clearer guidelines became apparent. Fortunately, James Anderson would step up to the challenge and craft something that would revolutionize Masonry. James Anderson's Constitutions, published in 1723, stands as a pivotal document in the history of Freemasonry. This compilation of rules, regulations, and Masonic traditions provided a structured foundation for the lodges and rituals of speculative Masonry. One of the primary contributions of Anderson's Constitutions was the codification of the principles and practices of speculative Masonry. Speculative Masonry had emerged as a philosophical and moral extension of the operative craft, and Anderson's work served to formalize its rituals and teachings. It provided a clear set of guidelines for lodges and their members, fostering unity and consistency within the fraternity. Perhaps the most remarkable feature of Anderson's Constitutions was the inclusion of a historical narrative. This narrative, while not historically accurate, wove a tapestry of legendary and symbolic connections between Freemasonry and the ancient world. It traced Masonry's origins to biblical figures such as Solomon and Hiram Abiff, and to classical luminaries like Euclid. These connections, though mythical, added an air of mystique and intrigue to Freemasonry, capturing the imaginations of its members. By linking Freemasonry to legendary figures and ancient wisdom, Anderson's constitutions enhanced the fraternity's appeal. It allowed Freemasons to view themselves as heirs to an illustrious lineage, keepers of a timeless tradition, and bearers of profound knowledge. This sense of historical connection added depth and significance to Masonic rituals and teachings. Beyond historical narratives, Anderson's constitutions also emphasized moral and ethical values. It called upon Freemasons to lead virtuous lives, uphold principles of integrity, and contribute positively to their communities. This focus on moral development aligned with the broader goals of Freemasonry, which sought to promote personal growth and self-improvement among its members. The combination of historical mystique and moral guidance embedded in Anderson's constitutions played a pivotal role in shaping Freemasonry's enduring popularity. It provided Freemasons with a sense of purpose and direction, both within the fraternity and in their lives outside the lodge. In essence, Anderson's constitutions marked a turning point in Masonic history. It elevated Freemasonry from a loose collection of lodges with diverse practices to a more cohesive and structured institution. It infused the craft with a sense of historical grandeur and moral purpose, setting the stage for the continued growth and influence of Freemasonry in the centuries to come. The spread of Freemasonry emerges as an extraordinary odyssey, weaving its way across continents and centuries. As the craft expanded, it forged connections, inspired minds, and influenced nations, leaving a profound mark on the world. In the 18th century, during the Enlightenment era, Freemasonry found itself at a pivotal juncture. This period, often referred to as the Age of Enlightenment, was characterized by a flourishing of intellectualism, reason, and the pursuit of knowledge. It was in this rich soil that Freemasonry took root and thrived, shaping the course of French intellectual and philosophical thought. Within the salons and coffee houses of Paris and other French cities, Masonic lodges emerged as bastions of enlightenment and free thought. These lodges were not mere gatherings of craftsmen, but intellectual crucibles where individuals from diverse backgrounds could engage in discourse, debate ideas, and explore the boundaries of human understanding. French Freemasonry thus became a beacon of intellectual curiosity and open-mindedness. One of the defining features of French Freemasonry during this period was its embrace of diverse philosophical influences. Freemasons in France, often referred to as les Lumières, the Enlightened, recognized the value of different schools of thought and welcomed members with a wide range of philosophical beliefs. This inclusivity fostered an environment where ideas could flourish and evolve. French Freemasonry of the 18th century was marked by its strong commitment to intellectualism. Masonic rituals and discussions frequently delved into topics related to ethics, morality, and the nature of knowledge itself. Freemasons sought to better themselves through the pursuit of wisdom, both practical and philosophical. It was not uncommon for lodge meetings to include lectures on topics as diverse as ethics, science, and metaphysics. Prominent Enlightenment thinkers such as Voltaire, a champion of reason and religious tolerance, and the Marquis de Lafayette, a key figure in the American Revolution, were active Freemasons. Their involvement in the craft not only contributed to its prominence, but also helped disseminate Masonic ideals throughout European thought. Across the Rhine, in the heart of Europe, Freemasonry in Germany took on a unique and culturally rich character. German lodges, like their French counterparts, thrived during the Enlightenment and the subsequent centuries. However, they carved their own path, embracing a blend of mystical and philosophical elements that reflected Germany's cultural diversity. One of the defining features of German Freemasonry was its embrace of both mystical and philosophical aspects of the craft. While the lodges in other European countries tended to lean toward one or the other, German Freemasons found a harmonious balance between these two facets. This allowed for a more holistic exploration of the mysteries of the universe, drawing on both rational thought and esoteric wisdom. German Freemasonry also boasted a roster of illustrious members who left an indelible mark on culture and the arts. Literary giants like Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, whose works explored themes of human nature and the pursuit of knowledge, were active Freemasons. The Brotherhood also counted among its ranks musical virtuosos like Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, whose compositions continue to enchant and inspire generations. As the New World took shape in colonial America, a transformational force arrived on its shores. American lodges, firmly forged in the principles of the craft, played a pivotal role in shaping the ideals and values of the young nation. Freemasonry quickly became synonymous with the foundational principles of liberty, equality, and fraternity, which would come to define the United States. Among the founding fathers of the United States, Freemasonry found some of its most ardent advocates and distinguished members. Figures like George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and John Hancock proudly wore the Masonic apron. Their influence within the fraternity extended to the very heart of American democracy. Freemasonry's core tenets, liberty, equality, and fraternity, resonated deeply with the Founding Fathers' vision for the nation. These principles helped shape the United States Constitution and the Bill of Rights, laying the foundation for the American experiment in democracy. Freemasonry's influence on American history extended well beyond the Revolutionary period. The architectural design of the nation's capital, Washington, D.C., is replete with Masonic symbolism. From the layout of streets and government buildings to iconic landmarks like the Washington Monument and the Capitol, the imprint of Masonic principles can be discerned by those who look closely. It is a tangible reminder of Freemasonry's lasting impact on the United States. As the global journey of Freemasonry ventured eastward, it encountered new horizons and embraced the rich tapestry of Asian cultures and traditions. In the vast and diverse subcontinent of India, Freemasonry gained prominence as it resonated with seekers of wisdom and enlightenment. Indian lodges, while adhering to the core Masonic principles, incorporated local traditions and customs into their rituals. The fusion of ancient Indian spirituality with Masonic teachings created a unique blend of esoteric wisdom. Among the luminaries of Indian Freemasonry was Raja Ram Mohan Roy, a visionary who not only embraced the craft, but also played a pivotal role in the socio-religious reforms of the 19th century. His advocacy for the abolition of the practice of sati and the promotion of women's education mirrored the core Masonic values of humanitarianism and enlightenment. In the land of the rising sun, Freemasonry found fertile ground for growth. Japanese lodges, characterized by their disciplined and respectful approach, upheld the principles of the craft with reverence. Freemasonry, often viewed as a pathway to moral and philosophical growth, resonated deeply with the Japanese sensibility. The African continent witnessed the Masonic flame burning brightly across its diverse landscapes. Lodges in countries like Egypt, South Africa, and beyond have contributed significantly to the craft's storied history. While Freemasonry took root in Africa, it also recognized and embraced the unique cultures and traditions of the continent. Prominent African Freemasons, such as Haile Selassie of Ethiopia, played a key role in their nation's development and progress. Their dedication to the principles of Freemasonry extended beyond the walls of the lodge, as they worked tirelessly to uplift their countries and promote social justice. African Freemasonry stands as a testament to the craft's adaptability and its role in nurturing leadership, enlightenment, and social change. During the colonial period, Freemasonry found fertile ground in the countries of South America. Lodges, often formed by like-minded individuals who sought liberation from colonial powers, played a significant role in the struggle for independence. Figures like Simón Bolívar, a towering figure in the fight for South American independence, were not only revolutionary leaders, but also esteemed members of the Masonic Brotherhood. The values of liberty, equality, and fraternity, central to Freemasonry, echoed in the aspirations of those seeking freedom from colonial rule. Freemasonry became a cornerstone of the revolutionary spirit that swept through South America, helping to shape the destinies of nations and leaving an indelible mark on the continent's history. From the intellectual salons of Enlightenment France to the birth of a nation in the United States, from the cultural heart of Germany to the reform movements in Asia and Africa, Freemasonry's influence has transcended borders and epochs. So, to sum all of this up, here's what you need to take home. Throughout history, Freemasonry has stood as a beacon of mystery, a brotherhood shrouded in secrecy and bound by allegorical teachings. We've seen how its roots intertwine with the threads of ancient wisdom, drawing from the profound depths of civilizations long past and the lost history of mankind. Freemasonry, with its rich allegorical lore, serves as a bridge connecting us to the ancient mysteries of humanity. Its profound teachings, veiled in layers of symbolism, encourage a pursuit of moral and spiritual enlightenment, echoing the quests of ancient philosophers and sages. Through the centuries, Freemasons have been builders, not just of monumental edifices, but of character and community. They've encoded their wisdom in symbols, from the square and compass to the all-seeing eye, each a puzzle piece in the grand mosaic of their philosophy. The universal appeal of Freemasonry lies in its enduring quest for knowledge and its commitment to the brotherhood of man. Despite the changing tides of time, its core values remain relevant, resonating with those who seek a deeper understanding of life and a connection to a tradition that spans the ages. Freemasonry stands as a marvelous monument to humanity's perpetual quest for knowledge, moral betterment, and a deeper connection to the mysteries of our existence. Freemasonry, in its essence, is a journey one that each member embarks upon, not just within the confines of the lodge, but in the grand lodge of life itself. Now, all of this considered, I am also interested to hear your opinion. If Masonic teachings promote unity and diversity, the pursuit of moral and spiritual enlightenment, and the principles of brotherhood, why do you think they are often portrayed as villains by the mainstream? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I am eager to hear your thoughts, fellow mystic. If you want to delve deeper into the world of ancient wisdom and esotericism, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more insightful videos. And if you want to support my mission to unearth and decipher the forgotten teachings of the ancient mysteries and the encrypted knowledge of Western esotericism, consider becoming a Patreon supporter. Until next time, continue to seek out the light. Hen to Pan.